Got the opening music bringing us in to start the show. Good morning, Arizona. It's called the Business to Business Network Show. My name is Rex Parry, and if you've just turned on your radio, we do high-speed real estate networking every Saturday morning. My co-host is
Jeff Obrasky, Homeowners Financial Group.
And we are doing a remote broadcast from a beautiful home in DC Ranch, and we try to bring, in fact, the whole show is very much like a broker open house, bring agents together. The listing agent and our first guest is Colleen. Introduce yourself, please.
Hi, I'm Colleen Olson with Arizona Best Real Estate.
And you've got an interesting background. You used to actually be a flight attendant. Explain that a little bit.
Actually, I work for the airlines.
That's right.
1 day a week.
1 day a week.
1 day a week.
So
keep those
anywhere.
Yeah.
Those flight benefits.
Yeah, medical and dental.
Oh, there you go.
More importantly, yeah.
But now you're one of the top agents for Arizona Best. First
Yep.
of all, kind of give us a little bit of your background. You come from the Midwest, isn't it?
I come from Minnesota, Apple Valley, Minnesota, and raised in a real estate home. So started helping my father at the age of 5 answer phones for Viking properties.
Passing out flyers by foot.
By foot. Sold cards were done every Saturday night.
He'd take you out and get pizza afterwards.
Oh, no, only A&W root beer.
Oh, root beer.
Yeah.
Root beer floats.
Yes. And all the neighbor kids loved doing it. So cheap labor for my dad. Yeah. So it was very successful. No mailings.
Excellent. Now, you've kind of applied the flight system a little bit to your marketing and the way you work with people. Kind of introduce that a little bit.
Well, every time I get a new client, a buyer or a seller, I send out it's called 88 Types of Turbulence. And what that is just kind of prefacing what could go wrong during a transaction. You know, just like when a pilot gets on and says, you know what, we might have some turbulence. And
fasten your seatbelt.
I'm going to ask you to keep your seatbelt. And, a lot of times buyers and sellers, if you just kind of tell them ahead of time what could happen, just like when you're on a plane, because nobody likes when all of a sudden you're on a plane and you drop and the plane starts rocking and rolling. It's like, well, it would have been nice to know.
Crash?
Are going to be a crash? Yeah. So it's the 88 types of turbulence that I send to them, and I have them put it on the refrigerator. And while they're at work, these are all the things that I'm handling behind the scenes.
Excellent. Mm-hmm. And having a good lender helps with that.
Absolutely.
Absolutely. And I think it's a great idea because, there's no industry that's faced more changes in the last 5 years, honestly, than the lending industry. The real estate industry has been relatively unscathed by all the rules and regulations. Our industry's really been changed dramatically, and I do a similar thing. It's all about expectations. If you at least let people know up front, hey, look, this is what we're going to need. This is what you're going to have to do. It may be different or whatever. People are very adaptable. They just don't like surprises.
Yeah.
And I think more importantly, it shows our value because a lot of times clients don't realize what we handle behind the scenes. And, they think we put a sign in the yard and we just sell their house and we get paid a lot of money. And so this...
You don't just do that?
There's a lot of work that goes into it.
So it just is really, shows our value, which is really important, I think, in today's market.
I would agree.
Speaking of value, the home that we're broadcasting from, do a verbal walkthrough where we're at right here.
So we're in DC Ranch, and this is the Park community. It's a great community for families, young families. It kind of gives me the Mayberry feel.
Yeah.
It's a little gated community where your kids can go out and run and play at the park. Safe. There's little porches where they have their bikes on there. And it's really truly a Mayberry feel, I think, in here.
Walk us through this house.
So this house is in Ashton Woods, 2562 square feet, 4-bedroom, 3 full bathrooms. It does have a first floor.
That's where we're in.
Yep, and room and bathroom. It's got a pool, which a lot of the homes in here do not have. So it's a nice size pool.
Very nice.
Not a little tiny one. And upstairs you have your masters, and it has a nursery or a sitting room off of it.
Or exercise.
Or exercise room. But hardwood floors, granite countertops. It's got some really great upgrades.
Beautiful high ceilings.
Ceilings.
List price on this?
It's $565.
$565?
We just loaded it yesterday, and this is, and actually my phone has been ringing off the hook since then.
$565.
It's below market. It's good value.
Yeah.
And I still can't believe they get $565.
I know.
But these were, in fairness, these were $750, $800 when at the peak of the market.
So the value is still here compared to the peak.
Yeah, you're in, for people who aren't familiar with this area, you're in, I call it DC Ranch South. It's the, not the golf course community, but it's a community they built just south on Pima Road.
Yeah. Legacy and Pima.
Exactly. The lots are smaller. The houses kind of fit front to back, but it's the price points are obviously much lower than up in DC Ranch. And it is a great type of area, especially for young kids and
for the
young
schools.
families.
You get to have the benefit of the schools.
Fantastic schools.
Fantastic
Yeah.
schools.
And limited supply in this
There's
area.
only a handful of communities that they built down here.
Yeah. So
They're
it's
only-
a supply and demand, and that's what people have to understand when you talk about real estate.
And the location here now is great.
great.
I lived, right up on North Scottsdale when I first moved here. And the Pima Freeway ended at McDonald.
Yeah.
So now, not only it comes all the way up here, but they've got the AJ Shopping Center right down the corner. The DC Ranch up north. I mean, you're 2 minutes from everywhere.
What kind of estimated payment
Well,
we got here?
on financing here, in this price range, let's just say you put down 10%. So you get in here for less than $60,000 out of pocket. If we put you in a 7-year ARM with a rate of maybe 4 1/8, 4 1/4, with no mortgage insurance, your payment with principal, interest, taxes, and insurance is probably about $3,000 a month.
That's amazing because you can't rent this size of home in this area.
No.
You can't.
No.
In fact, there's very few rentals in here
Right,
at
right,
all. So
right.
you got to get a hold of Jeff to get pre-qualified. Let's get a phone number. How can people reach?
602-445-9094.
Because Colleen, you'll agree, they need to get pre-qualified.
Absolutely.
Or a bank
That's
statement.
that's the number one thing is really be qualified. So they truly, and so we can know that they truly can qualify.
Let's get a phone number if people want to come see this home. Price just got reduced. What's the price again?
$565.
$565 in gated community, DC Ranch, Legacy, and Pima is the
Great
area.
schools.
Near the 101.
Yep.
And limited supply of
limited
inventory.
supply. So it's time. Jump on it.
Phone number?
602-989-8641.
And website.
ColleenOlson.com. ColleenOlson.com.
That's SON, not SEN, SON.com. Thank you both so much. We got music coming up. Got to do a break here. It's called the Business to Business Network Show. 1, 2, 3, B as in business, Z as in zebra.com. Stay tuned. We're going to be right back at you.